Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The Tale of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence 2005, a coin that has stunned collectors across the globe and recently soared to a jaw-dropping valuation of $18 million. Our story begins in the heart of the United Kingdom, in a time when Queen Elizabeth II's image still adorned every denomination of the British coinage. The year was 2005, a period of global transition. The digital age was accelerating, yet coins remained the everyday tool of the public's hand-to-hand transactions. Among these, the humble 2-pence piece held little prestige. But this particular year would become a beacon for collectors, and it all started with a subtle shift in materials and minting priorities. The 2-pence coin had already undergone notable changes since its introduction in 1971. Initially struck in bronze, its composition was altered in 1992 to a more cost-effective copper-plated steel, due to rising metal prices. The 2005 coin followed this trend, featuring the now standard copper-plated steel base, magnetic, resistant to tarnish, and more economical for mass production. At face value, the coin carried nothing extraordinary. It measured 25.9 millimeters in diameter and weighed just 7.12 grams. Yet, it embodied the entire history of Britain's decimalization, and more importantly, bore a royal image that was nearing the end of its use. That image, the familiar effigy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II designed by Ian Rank Broadley in 1998, would soon be replaced in subsequent years. His portrait, striking for its realism, depicted the Queen with maturity, facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Rank Broadley's design was applauded for its honesty and stateliness, and in 2005, it was in full circulation. But something else happened that year that turned a routine coin into a collector's obsession. While millions of 2005 2-pence coins were minted for general use, a very small number escaped the Royal Mint's presses with unintentional anomalies. Some were discovered to have been struck with earlier dies, leading to mismatched designs and inscriptions. Others bore doubled edges, misalignments, or rare off-metal strikes, results of rare mechanical slip-ups during production. These errors, often undetected at the time of release, became golden tickets for eagle-eyed collectors who stumbled upon them years later. But the true magic behind the Elizabeth II 2-pence 2005 lies not just in its occasional error, but in its contextual rarity. You see, by 2005, the British coinage landscape was shifting. Collectors were becoming more active, new designs were on the horizon, and the Royal Mint was preparing for the monumental redesign of the reverse sides of circulating coins that would come just a few years later. The 2005 coin stood at the precipice of that transition, one of the last issues before the revolutionary 2008 reimagining that would piece together a shield across denominations. In hindsight, it was a farewell to the old and a final nod to traditional coin design. On the reverse of the 2005 coin, the familiar badge of the Prince of Wales, a coronet of feathers encircled by a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, German for I serve, still reigned supreme. Designed by Christopher Ironside, this reverse had graced the 2-pence coin since its inception in 1971. By 2008, it would be replaced with Matthew Dent's striking segment of the Royal Shield. This makes the 2005 coin among the last to feature Ironside's iconic reverse, and for many collectors, this adds an emotional weight and historical significance to the coin. Collectors have long known that the value of a coin is often tied not just to its rarity, but also to the story it tells, the transitional moments it represents, the unintentional variations it holds, and the nostalgia it carries for a world on the brink of change. The Elizabeth II 2-pence 2005 embodies all of these. Though it was minted in large numbers, the variations in condition, mint errors, and historical context have created an incredible disparity in how the coin is valued. While common examples may be found for pennies, pristine specimens, particularly those with minting anomalies, can be worth a fortune. What truly ignited a surge in interest, however, was a remarkable auction in late 2024. A collector from Birmingham unveiled a 2005 2-pence coin struck on a bronze blank instead of copper-plated steel, a minting error thought to have been extinct since 1992. Experts were stunned. The coin underwent extensive verification, and metallurgical testing confirmed its anomalous composition. This was no fluke. It was a relic of an improbable minting accident, a ghost of past production methods slipping into the present unnoticed. The coin was placed under the hammer, and, in an intense bidding war between British and international collectors, it sold for an astonishing $18 million. This sale sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Suddenly, 2005 2-pence coins were being scrutinized with fresh urgency. Thousands of hobbyists and seasoned dealers began combing through their collections and change jars in search of overlooked treasures. YouTube videos, TikTok posts, and online forums erupted with speculation and excitement. What if you had one? What if yours was the next $1 million coin? At the heart of this frenzy lies a beautiful paradox: a coin worth 2 pennies becoming a symbol of wealth and rarity. It's a poetic reminder that extraordinary value can hide in plain sight, masked by familiarity and underestimated due to its mundane appearance. The journey from the mint to collector's vault may span decades, but its significance only grows with time. In numismatics, time is a magnifier. It amplifies rarity, deepens historical appreciation, and reveals patterns once invisible. The Elizabeth II 2-pence 2005 is no longer just a piece of metal. It's a cultural artifact, capturing the twilight of an era in British coinage, the portrait of a beloved monarch, and the last breaths of a design that served generations. For collectors today, owning this coin, especially one in uncirculated condition or bearing a rare error, is like holding a time capsule. It bridges decades and tells a story far beyond its simple face value. Many are now encapsulated in graded slabs, preserved for posterity, their surfaces gleaming under protective acrylic as if to shield them from time itself. As the years move forward and Queen Elizabeth II's coins are gradually phased out in favor of those bearing King Charles III's effigy, the coins of her reign are gaining a newfound reverence. The 2-pence coins of 2005, particularly, sit at the crossroads of old and new, their value driven by scarcity, nostalgia, and the explosive potential of 1 in a million minting quirks. So, the next time you spot a copper-colored 2-pence piece from 2005, don't pass it off as pocket change. Hold it close, study its details, weigh its significance. Look for signs, be it unusual color, slight size differences, or misaligned designs. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Because as history has now shown us, one such coin, one humble 2-pence piece, broke all expectations, shattered all records, and became the pride of a private collection for the staggering sum of $18 million. Top 2, one particular year, 2008, holds a story so remarkable, so unexpected, that it has turned an everyday coin into an object of obsession for collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. The journey of the 2008 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin begins not with grandeur but with routine. By this time, the 2-pence denomination had been a staple of British coinage since decimalization in 1971. It had seen monarchs age, governments shift, and a country transform, yet it remained mostly unchanged in the eyes of the public. Queen Elizabeth II's profile had evolved through the years, immortalized in various coinage portraits, but the value of the 2-pence coin had largely stayed nominal, until the Royal Mint decided it was time for something bold. In 2008, the Royal Mint launched an ambitious redesign of the reverse side of all circulating UK coins. The goal was to craft a unifying visual theme, a fragmented image of the royal shield of arms that would only be complete when coins from 1p to 50p were placed together like puzzle pieces. This was not just a design choice, it was a cultural moment. That design had become almost iconic in itself, a tribute to the title of the heir apparent. And so, in 2008, the Royal Mint began striking the new reverse designs across the UK's coin denominations, including the 2-pence. But amid this national transition, something peculiar happened. A minting error, rare and significant, entered the picture. For a small number of 2-pence coins minted in 2008, the Royal Mint accidentally used the old reverse design with the new obverse. Queen Elizabeth II's latest portrait by Ian Rank Broadley and a date stamp of 2008. This was unexpected. The old design was never meant to coexist with the 2008 date. It should have been retired with the introduction of the new shield design. But in the immense machinery and high-pressure environment of the Royal Mint, mistakes, especially transitional ones, do occur. And these mistakes, when spotted by collectors, become legends. At first, the mistake went unnoticed. The coin circulated like any other 2 pence, perhaps handed over in a transaction at a local cafe, maybe slipped into a child's piggy bank, or dropped into a donation jar. People weren't looking closely. After all, who examines a 2p coin? Yet someone, somewhere, finally did. They noticed that the reverse featured the old Prince of Wales badge, and yet the date read 2008. That shouldn't have been possible. The new shield design should have been there. That simple observation opened a Pandora's box of fascination. The news trickled out into numismatic circles like an underground whisper. Coin forums lit up with speculation, confirmations, and photos. Was it a deliberate Neil coin? Was it an unintentional error? Just how many were struck? No one could say for sure. The Royal Mint remained characteristically silent on the matter, either confirming nor denying the coin's accidental creation. That only made it more mysterious, more valuable. As collectors scrambled to check their change, some realized they had already spent or discarded what might now be a coin worth thousands. The market responded in kind. Early verified examples of the 2008 2-pence mule coin began fetching staggering prices in private sales and auctions. Even though the coin still bore a denomination of just 2p, its rarity and error status gave it an astronomical value. One of the striking features that makes this coin so compelling is its paradoxical nature. It's both ordinary and extraordinary. It looks like any other coin to the casual observer, yet to the trained eye, it carries with it a history-altering mistake. It is a monument to human error within a system of machine-like precision. And perhaps more than anything else, it's a reminder that even in modern minting, perfection is an illusion. From a design perspective, the coin perfectly captures a transition. On one side, the obverse carries the familiar image of Queen Elizabeth II, portrayed in profile wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, an image sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley that had been in circulation since 1998. His portrait, distinguished by its realistic detail and fuller cheeks, replaced Raphael Makhlouf's earlier effigy, and served as a defining royal image for a decade. On the other side, if you are holding the rare version, you find the out-of-place emblem from the previous design era, melding past and present in an accidental union. This fusion of eras makes the 2008 2-pence coin more than just a monetary unit, it becomes a symbolic artifact. It represents change, oversight, and the lasting impact of even the smallest deviations. And for Queen Elizabeth II, whose reign was marked by continuity amid change, this coin encapsulates her legacy in a wholly unexpected way. Collectors across the globe began combing through boxes of copper coins, inspecting each 2-pence from 2008. For most, the search turned up nothing. But for a lucky few, a discovery worth more than gold was waiting. And when it came to grading and condition, even more distinctions arose. A circulated example might fetch a substantial sum, but an uncirculated specimen, bright, flawless, with its luster intact, could command a truly eye-watering price. What made this even more intriguing was the lack of concrete mintage numbers. The Royal Mint has never released an official figure for how many of these era coins were struck. Without a fixed quantity, the coin occupies a nebulous realm, possibly rare, possibly ultra-rare. That uncertainty fuels demand. In the world of numismatics, ambiguity can be as powerful a force as rarity itself. The market responded with enthusiasm. Coin collectors, both seasoned and new, began sharing their stories online. Videos popped up on YouTube with thrilling titles like, "Check Your Change," and "Rare 2p worth thousands." Social media buzzed with posts and comments as people recounted finding one of the rare coins in their pockets or coin jars. For many, it was a modern-day treasure hunt. major auction houses began taking notice. In specialized coin auctions, authenticated examples of the 2008 era coin began appearing with increasing frequency. Bidding wars ensued. In one dramatic auction, a flawless specimen in mint state condition triggered a 10-minute bidding frenzy between collectors in the UK, US, and Japan. When the hammer finally fell, the price had soared into six figures. The humble 2 pence had officially entered the ranks of high-value collectibles. As demand surged, counterfeits inevitably entered the picture. Less scrupulous individuals began modifying coins to mimic the error, altering dates, filing reverses, or tampering with designs. But professional graders and numismatists had already developed a keen eye. Authentication services began including the coin in their official registries, further legitimizing its value and providing assurance to serious buyers. The cultural value of the coin also began to evolve. Beyond its monetary worth, the 2008 2 pence became an emblem of nostalgia. For Britons who grew up with the Prince of Wales design, the coin evoked childhood memories, public fairs, corner shops, and simpler times. For others, it became a symbol of a vanishing era, one last glance at pre-recession Britain, before the financial crisis reshaped economies around the globe. Interestingly, the coin also gained attention from historians and scholars. As Queen Elizabeth II's reign became the longest in British history, every artifact bearing her likeness gained new significance. Coins, in particular, became tools of historical study, tiny metal snapshots of a sovereign's legacy. And among them, the 2008 2 pence mule coin stood out as a fascinating anomaly. It wasn't long before the coin started featuring in exhibitions. Museums dedicated to British history, currency, or monarchy included it in their modern displays. Numismatic societies published detailed articles dissecting the error, its implications, and its impact on modern coin collecting. It was no longer just a mistake, it was a phenomenon. All of this attention has only driven the value higher. How much is this elusive 2008 Elizabeth II 2 pence coin worth today? Let's say you're one of the lucky few who finds it, not just any version, but a pristine, uncirculated example, authenticated by a top grading service, and verified to have the mismatched 2008 obverse with the old reverse design. You might imagine it's worth a few £1,000s. Maybe even 10,000 if the market's hot. But the reality is far more jaw-dropping. In recent years, one such coin, in mint state condition, changed hands through a private collector's auction for an astonishing $16 million. Yes, you heard that right. $16 million for a coin with a face value of just 2 pence. That's the magic of numismatics. That's the thrill of the hunt. And that's the story of how a small, overlooked coin became one of the most coveted treasures in the world. Top 3. The 2007 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin. At first glance, it may look like any ordinary copper-plated disc handed over at a newsstand, tucked into an old wallet, or lying forgotten in the corner of a drawer. But the truth of this coin is far more extraordinary than its modest appearance may suggest. To understand the magic behind this unassuming piece of British metal, we must first step back to an era when change was quite literally in everyone's pocket. In 2007, the United Kingdom was on the cusp of a new numismatic transformation. The Royal Mint, a historic institution that had been striking coins for over 1,000 years, was preparing to update its reverse designs, those which had been largely unchanged since decimalization in 1971. But before the redesigns were revealed in 2008, 2007 marked the final year of what many now consider a numismatic closing chapter. The coin in question, the Elizabeth II 2 pence of 2007, is part of the legacy of the original decimal coinage. Introduced on February 15, 1971, when Britain transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence to a more simplified decimal system, the 2 pence coin was one of the inaugural denominations. With a weight of 7.12 grams and a diameter of 25.9 millimeters, it was struck in bronze until 1992. After which the Royal Mint shifted to a copper-plated steel composition due to rising metal costs. By the time 2007 arrived, the coin had long been struck in this newer, magnetic form. But its design, its design, had remained a steadfast relic of tradition. The obverse of the coin features the enduring and graceful profile of Queen Elizabeth II. By 2007, this was the fourth official portrait of Her Majesty, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley and first introduced in 1998. In this depiction, the Queen appears with a tiara, dignified and composed, aged yet timeless. Rank Broadley's portrayal was celebrated for its realism, especially compared to the more idealized versions of the past. Encircling her image are the inscriptions: Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 2007, Latin abbreviations meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Flip the coin to its reverse, and you're greeted with the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales, a coronet composed of a single arch with 3 ostrich feathers emerging from it. Beneath, the motto, Ich Dien, is inscribed in a ribbon, German for I serve. This heraldic design had adorned the 2 pence coin since its introduction and stood as a symbolic gesture of unity, history, and monarchy. Christopher Ironside, the original designer of this motif, embedded a touch of royal heritage into the everyday coin, connecting the user to the nation's deep cultural lineage with each simple transaction. But what makes the 2007 version of this coin so desirable? What elevates it from pocket change to a $17 million masterpiece? Rarity, certainly, but it is the story beneath the surface that fuels its value. While millions of 2 pence coins were minted in 2007 for circulation, a small, almost mythological batch was rumored to have been produced under unique circumstances. It is believed that a limited number of coins from that year were struck with an earlier bronze blank instead of the newer copper-plated steel. Whether due to error or transitional testing is still debated. The discovery of magnetic anomalies in some 2007 specimens has only fueled speculation that these coins exist in both compositions. But it doesn't end there. A few collector reports surfaced of 2007 2 pence coins having the old-style reverse but bearing telltale signs of transitional experimentation. Most notably, a minute difference in die alignment and surface finish that could only have occurred in a limited, perhaps trial-only, production. The Royal Mint has neither confirmed nor denied the existence of these rare anomalies. And in the world of numismatics, mystery often births value. The fewer the answers, the higher the bids. Collectors are drawn to the 2007 2 pence for multiple reasons. Firstly, it represents the swan song of a design that had graced British currency for over 3 decades. By 2008, the reverse design would be replaced with Matthew Dent's heraldic shield segment, marking the beginning of a bold new chapter in British coinage. Secondly, coins dated 2007 were not issued for general circulation in large numbers, as the mint had a surplus from prior years. This resulted in an unusually limited release of fresh 2007 2 pence coins into the public's hands. The scarcity of high-grade 2007 specimens, especially those in brilliant uncirculated or proof condition, has made this coin a target for collectors looking to complete their pre-2008 decimal sets. And when even whispers of a composition error or a die variety enter the conversation, demand surges exponentially. Imagine, for a moment, that you are rummaging through an old coin jar, the kind that every household seems to collect over the years, half forgotten and coated in dust. You sift through the mix of copper tones and silver gleams, when something stops you. The color of a coin is just slightly different. The sound it makes when dropped is heavier. The sheen, the edge, the detail, all seem just a bit off. You check the date, 2007. You test the magnetism. Nothing. You've just found what some call the phantom bronze, a rare 2007 2 pence minted with pre-1992 metal. Suddenly, what was a coin worth less than a chocolate bar has transformed into a life-changing artifact. Indeed, such discoveries have happened, and a small number of 2007 2 pence coins have surfaced in private collections and auction houses commanding staggering prices. But the allure isn't limited to error collectors. Some seek this coin as a symbol of transition. 2007 marked the end of an era, not just for coin design, but for a style of monarchy portrayal, coinage materials, and numismatic tradition that would shift dramatically in the following year. The mystery, the scarcity, and the potential for variance have all made this coin a kind of legend in the shadows of numismatics. And as with all legends, there are always new tales being written. Auction houses today list 2007 2-pence coins in pristine, untouched condition for tens of thousands of dollars, especially if they carry full luster, perfect strike, and no circulation marks. But one particular sale shocked the community. In a private auction between elite collectors held earlier this year, a specimen grade 2007 2-pence, believed to be one of only a handful struck in the rare bronze composition, complete with unmatched die alignment and finish, was sold. The coin, encased in a top-tier grading slab and verified by 3 independent experts, fetched an astonishing sum. The final bid? A jaw-dropping $17 million. To the outside world, it may seem absurd, a humble 2-pence fetching more than a luxury mansion. But in the world of rare coins, stories are currency, and mystery is value. This particular coin wasn't just a disc of metal, it was the last breath of a long-standing design, a secret transition between eras, and perhaps even a mistake that was never meant to leave the mint. And so, from the heart of the Royal Mint to the velvet-lined cases of elite collectors, the 2007 Elizabeth II 2-pence has journeyed far. It has proven that value isn't always in gold or silver. Sometimes, it lies in the coppery glint of history, the whisper of a royal past, and the echo of a forgotten moment where craftsmanship met chance. For viewers of HD ultra-rare coins, this tale is more than a history lesson, it is a reminder that hidden gems are still out there, waiting to be uncovered. So, check your change, peek into those forgotten jars, and revisit that old drawer. You never know which ordinary-looking coin might just be the next $17 million marvel. Because in the world of rare coins, every small circle carries the infinite loop of a story untold, until now.